Okay, good morning students. Welcome back to our online class. Okay, so here is another video of our online classes. So this is the first day of the week, right? Okay, so do you have a nice weekend everyone? Yeah, I believe that you had a great weekend ever. Okay, so today's video we are going to study about our Blueprint 5. So in this Blueprint 5 we are going to start our new lesson as well. Right, so the lesson today is about our lesson 3. So can you read our title all together? Yes, so on lesson 3 is memorable trip. Memorable trips, right? So do you have any memorable trips? Okay, so I hope that you have it, right? Because many people they usually have the trip in their life. Maybe some people they have the trips for like 2 trips a year or another 5 or 6 trips a year. This is about what the trip that people have, right? Well, so let's start all together. So here we go to page 26. So now we are on page 26. So let's turn your book to page 26 all together. Are you ready? Very good. Okay, so on page 26 so what you can see on page 26 is about the warm-up section. Okay, so let's read the instruction all together. Think about the vacations you have been on. Okay, then fill in the mind map. So on the whiteboard, what you see is we call mind map, right? Yeah. Okay, let's start. Well, so in this mind map is about your vacation experiences, right? My vacation experiences. So let me take the example and I will write down my vacation experiences on the whiteboard for you to see. Okay, but you yourself you can write it in another books or into your notebook as well. Okay, are you ready everyone? Now let's do all together. Okay, so my vacation experiences. So here is about my vacation experiences. Alright, so I will show you about my experiences of my memorable trips ever. Okay, so where I went to Kampot. Well, I went to Kampot with what? With who, right? Right, so this is the section is what I have to write about is the place that I went there for a trip, right? I can say this is my memorable trips ever in my life that I went to Kampot, right? Okay, now move on to another section is whom I went with. So at those time I went with my co-workers. So I went to Kampot with my co-worker, right? So next is what I did. Ate seafood. And I also played with the co-workers at the sea as well, right? So this is what I did at my trip. Yeah. So now let's move on to our last thing is what I like and disliked. So the things that I like are also about the people. And I also really like the people that there because they are really friendly, right? The view, so these are the things that I like. Okay, so now let's see the thing that I dislike. It's about the price of the food, right? Or the price of the anything that you buy at there, right? So this is the thing that I dislike about it is about the price, right? Okay, now so we have completed about our mind map already. Okay, so here is about my vacation experiences. Okay, so now we have done about our mind map. So now let's move on to our next section. Here is what you have to do. You have to listen and then answer the question below. So now we go to our track 7, right? Okay, so let me talk about something that you have to do for this exercise practice. Well, so I will play the listening for you in our video, and after that you guys have to consider or have to focus on any answer that should be the correct one for the question in here, right? So let me explain you about the question. So here we have 4 questions that you guys going to answer, like what we have taught at the moment, okay? Like what we have done in our mind map. Okay, now let's talk about our question. So here is where. Where is referred to the place that the speaker went there, okay? And for who is referred to someone or another people who went there with the speaker, right? So what is referred to what, everyone? Yeah, what is referred to what the speaker did, okay? And the last one is what he liked and what he disliked. The thing that he liked or the thing that he disliked, okay? Are you ready, everyone? Okay, now let's listen to our first speaker.
Track 7. Speaker 1, Jeremy. When I was 12, my family went to Hawaii. We went to Oahu and Maui. I had a lot of fun overall, but I had one unpleasant experience. My family went snorkeling at Molokini Crater. At first, it was marvelous. I loved the breeze and sunshine, but the boat that we were on started rocking. It was then that I learned that I get seasickness. I spent the whole trip feeling sick, while my brother swam with dolphins and sea turtles.
Okay, finished, right? Yeah, so now let's check about our answer. Alright, so now let's go to our first speaker. First speaker is Jamie. So Jamie, he went to Oahu and Maui at Hawaii, right? And another thing is he went there with his family, okay? And what he did is they went snorkeling in Molokini Crater, okay? So this is what he did. But for another thing is what he liked and he disliked. So he liked snorkeling and he disliked seasickness. Okay, so this is about our first speaker. So now let's move on to our second speaker.
Speaker 2, Robert.
My most memorable vacation was when I went to Kyoto, Japan, after high school. I was always interested in Japanese culture, so my parents sent me there as a graduation present. I had expected it to be different, but I was surprised anyway. The city was beautiful. I saw many famous temples and even some geishas. I also met other visitors who spoke English. We became friends during our trip, and we still keep in touch.
Okay, finished, right? Now let's see about our second speaker. His name is Robert. Okay, here we go. So the place that he went at Kyoto. Yeah. So he went to Kyoto and at Japan, right? And another thing is he went there alone, not with his family or not with his friend. Okay. So he just went there by himself and alone, right? And another thing that he did at Japan is he explored the culture of Japan and befriended to the other people. Okay, so this is what he did when he went to Japan, right? And another thing is what he liked and he disliked. So he actually liked the beautiful city and the temple. Okay, so this is what our second speaker, Robert. Okay, now let's move on to our last speaker, and her name is Alexa. Let's start.
Speaker 3, Alexa. The vacation that I remember most was my trip to San Francisco. Unfortunately, it wasn't a pleasant trip. I went with my boyfriend, who didn't enjoy himself. He hated the food and the accommodations. I was hoping we'd have a romantic getaway, but instead, he complained the whole time. The worst was when we went to Napa Valley. We were late for the tour because we were stuck in traffic. Then my boyfriend got sick and had to stay in the bus while I went on the winery tour with the others. I was quite upset by the end of the trip.
Okay, so now let's move on to our last speaker. So last speaker is Alexa. So the place that Alexa went is San Francisco. Okay. So another thing is she also went there with her boyfriend. And what's that? What thing that she did at there is they went on a winery tour in Napa Valley, right? And another thing that like she liked about it or she disliked is Alexa disliked the trip. Okay, so it's so contrast from or different from another speaker. Like speaker 1, speaker 2, they say they like the trip, but actually for Alexa, right? Alexa disliked the trip because her boyfriend was always complaining. And because they were late to the winery tour, and the reason that they were late to the winery tour is about the bad traffic. Okay, so we have listened to our 3 speakers from our audio, right? Like the first speaker, his name is Jeremy, and he also described about something that he liked it there and he disliked it there, right? And another thing is about our speaker number 2 is Robert, and he went there alone, and then he also described something about the place that he went there, right? And another last speaker is Alexa. Alexa is so sad because the trip was not good at all. She said she disliked about her trip because her boyfriend always complained about what? About the like the traffic, a bad traffic ever in San Francisco. Okay, so we have learned a lot in our video lesson today. Is about our lesson 3, a memorable trip, right? Right. So thank you very much. Okay, so now we come to an end of our first session video. So you can have a break for 10 minutes, and after you have your break already, you can continue our class. Okay, so let's enjoy your break time.